Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we are diving into Terraforming Mars. We're doing, 10 hours worth of Terraforming Mars filming today alone.
Basically.
Gameplay, strategy guides, rules you might miss. And yes, I'm wearing Tom Vassel's shirt and he's wearing Tom Vassel's hat. We thought we'd pay homage to, well, one of the greats. Does he even like Terraforming Mars?
I believe so.
I'm not sure. Let us know in the comment section down below. Does Tom like Terraforming Mars? If so, why? If not, explain to us why he's wrong. We are breaking down, well, you specifically, the esteemed Corey Adler, only the second video he's ever filmed on the channel, so be kind to him in the comment section down below. We are doing unique, interesting combinations.
Yeah, these are some of my favorite combinations ever to play with.
You're over 100 games in,
I am.
comfortably so,
Comfortably.
both with the digital app, but excluding that alone, with the physical board game, you're over 100 games in.
Indeed.
And you are able to recognize almost every card that comes through the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've played through the decks both with the regular game, with the corporate era advanced cards, with some of the expansion cards. I've played with a lot of these cards.
And so the reason behind this video, or the idea I have behind this video, is you're actually paying attention to what's being discarded, to what's being cycled, to the drafting cards that are coming around the table, and seeing what combinations might still be available that I'm gonna say might break the game. I mean, this is an engine building game, and one of the things that I love about drafting or engine building is the opportunity to find unique combinations that, well, just shatter your opponents for that one round of the game, for that one cycle. And then you reset from zero, and everyone's again on the same level, and everyone's again building towards some epic final conclusion. We're all trying to break the game. It's just a matter of who does it best or who does it first.
Indeed.
All right, what are the combinations? I'm so excited to see these, because now I'll know, potentially, how to beat him. Help me. If you're good at Terraforming Mars, come to our Tuesday night game night here in Cleveland, Ohio. Send me an email. We need someone to finally defeat Corey Adler. I'm labeling him. I'm putting his name out there. We've got a wanted poster. I believe we're going to start a bounty. The only person that's beat you so far is Shira, and that was with me going, head on against you.
Yep. And by 3 points, I believe.
She's a hero. She's the hero we all need. All right, let's do this.
Indeed. So, first off, a lot of these combos relate also to different corporations that are actually, that somebody may actually have. But these are also things that either if I'm playing with, I love it, or if somebody else plays it against me, I kind of lose a little bit of respect for them. Not really, but let's go on.
You're able to lose respect for me?
Did I have respect for you?
That's the question.
That's a very good question. Anyways, moving on. First off is the combination of somebody who has the Tharsis Republic Corporation and then ends up playing Immigrant City. So, Tharsis Republic, no matter who plays the city, including yourself, you're automatically going to be gaining an extra money production regardless, as long as it's on Mars.
Okay.
Immigrant City then also on top of it gives you a money production for any city that gets built anywhere on the board.
Okay.
So if you have both Tharsis and then you're playing Immigrant City, anytime any city gets placed, at least you're getting at least one, and if it's on Mars, you're gaining 2 money production for somebody else's action.
So it scales quickly, especially early game, getting this down onto the table.
Oh yeah, and especially if you're playing with the main board, you may consider immediately then funding the Banker Award.
Oh, interesting.
Because
there's no way you're going to be not competitive in that.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
That is a fun combination. That's
a fun one that I've played, and when somebody else plays it, I'm just like, well, I'm not getting Banker. That's just not happening.
And then you'll buy something else out from underneath them and let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, good.
Exactly.
I see how this is working.
Number 2 for me is actually my oldest favorite combination. When I asked him, to help contribute, I sent him a text message and said, hey, what's your favorite combination? This was actually his favorite right here, which is Space Mirrors and Equatorial Magnetizer.
So Space Mirrors is giving you production on your power, and then you're spending with the Equatorial Magnetizer, didn't read that well, you're spending your power to go ahead and raise your terraforming rating.
So these are both for the production.
You're spending 7. You're spending 7 to buy a terraform point.
Exactly.
That is a cheap terraforming point.
Oh yeah, especially when you consider that the cheapest terraform point that's just standard on the board is, for asteroid to raise temperature, it's 14. That's double the cost of this. Granted, the standard projects you can do unlimited amount of times, and this time you can only do once, but still, every single round, 7 money to basically raise your terraform rating one step.
Well, and these are cheap cards too, an 11 and a 3. And so if one of these becomes available, keep your eye open for that draft.
Exactly.
This is a really cool combination. Very neat.
Exactly.
Okay, this is fun.
Exactly.
What else do you have?
The next one that I have is a fun one that I've loved playing, especially when you're doing a strategy that involves a lot of building tags, or it's like when you're playing with Mining Guild or whatnot. But
I just figured it out. Keep going.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So Medical Lab gives you 1 money production for every 2 building tags that you have.
I've never figured out how to... I knew Robotic Workforce had a cool way to use it. I've never figured it out. I've always just used it for I'm going to get 2 energy from this, or I'm going to get 1 money.
Or I lose an energy production and gain 3 because I'm using...
Yeah. Keep going. This is so frustrating and exciting for me.
Yeah. So Medical Lab, especially when you're playing with Mining Guild and you've got a bunch of, of building tags, this could get you, 5, 6 money production just from this card, and then later on play Robotic Workforce and do it all over again.
That's so good.
It's fantastic. You don't lose any kind of other production here, and it gives you multiple science tags which can interact with things.
That is a very satisfying combination.
I love it. I love doing it every single time.
What else do we have here?
All right. Next thing.
Man, this is a good video.
Yeah. Next thing is actually something that I did recently in the app that...
This video feels like it's earning me 100 games of Terraforming Mars worth of knowledge. Because you don't see this until you've, went for it a few times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this was something that I just actually had in one game with the app recently. Because normally I don't go for this corporation, Interplanetary Cinematics, because I don't usually know how to play it well. I don't tend to like it. It doesn't give you as much money. But then I had one game where I had this, and then I got Media Group in my opening hand.
And suddenly,
every time I play an event, I'm getting 5 money back. So,
and those are some of the most impactful but also high cost cards in the game.
They can be, yeah. So it ended up being me drafting pretty much every single event card that I could get my hand on, and then it's chaining event after event after event because I'm getting so much money back.
Did it work? Did you win?
I did.
Nice.
You know
That's
me.
Awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah.
What do you think your win rate is out of those over 100 games?
Depends on who I'm playing with. When I'm playing with my kids, it's a very high rate. When I'm playing on the app, it's a high rate. When I'm playing against you, it's 100%. But I
love that the kids are his 11-year-old. He's like, I usually win. Quackalope, I've never lost. All right, keep going.
Yep.
You got your jab in.
I did.
You and all of the Reddit community.
It was fantastic too. I love it. The next one is, this happened to me also recently in the app, which was having the Ecoline Corporation, then getting the Prelude card here of Ecology Experts that allows you to play a card from your hand, ignoring global requirements. And I ended up
using it for farming?
I used it for farming here. Which also, side note, would also work if I had gotten kelp farming as well. It may have worked a little bit better, depending on what do you feel as far as the end game points is concerned.
So you're starting off with 5 production in greenery, 5 greenery
5
resources, 5 plant resources from the get-go, a decent amount of gold and some gold production, but the most important thing, in my opinion, is a reduced cost on playing out trees. So you're almost to a tree a turn engine
greenery, yeah,
right from the beginning.
Exactly. So your first round, you're not, after the first production, you're not going to, you're going to already have enough to build a greenery.
And then you'll have cards to play that'll give you a little bit more support, and suddenly you're there.
Exactly.
That is great. And greenery's getting you...
Greeneries are going to get you at least 2 points.
Right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And increase your terraforming rating.
Increase the terraform
which means you're getting more gold every round.
And potentially, if you spend some of your money to build a city right at the beginning of the game, those
Did you do
initial
that?
greeneries will get, yeah. Oh, yeah. I spent some of the, I played this combo and used a lot of the money first round to build a city because I knew the next 3 rounds, I'm gaining at least 1 greenery each time. And so placing the greenery down, upping the TR, getting the point for the greenery, and then getting a point for it being next to one of my cities.
That's a 3-point swing
points.
every single round. That is amazing.
Every round.
And terrifying.
It is.
I need to pay more attention when we start drafting cards. What's next? What do we have?
All right.
That's so cool.
It's a fun one. This other one is kind of more of a late game one, but it is Predators and Large Convoy here. And there are a lot of cards that give you 1 point per animal.
Okay.
I singled out Predators here because Predators steals animals from other players.
Okay.
Versus,
so you're stealing points from other players as well, which is a debuff on them.
Indeed.
Huh.
Plus also, if you had any one of the other cards, it would be potentially they could grab them from you.
Mm-hmm.
But the obvious one here is the fact that Predators gets 1 point per animal, and then you have this Large Convoy that gives you a whole bunch of stuff. It gives you 2 points at the end, gives you 2 more cards, gives you an ocean, which could potentially raise your TR if not all of the oceans have been played. But it also gives you 4 animals.
So that's a 6 point. No, that's a 7 point. If you have that card, that's a 7 point play.
Exactly. For 36 money. Possibly even reduced if you have titanium production.
Wow.
It's a fun one.
Wow. Cool.
I love doing that.
That's
It's
terrifying. All right, what else do you have?
It's a fantastic one. Next one I have here, also from personal experience, is the combination of having Cor along with this card Standard Technologies, which is actually my oldest favorite card to play in this game, is Standard Technologies. So, not obvious, which is why you're giving me that look right now.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. I figured the other ones out already.
Cor gives you 4 money back every time you do anything that costs you 20 money, including standard projects.
Okay.
Standard Technologies automatically gives you 3 money back every time you do a standard.
Reducing the cost of a standard project by 7 every time.
Not necessarily every time, but when you're doing a greenery or you're building a city...
Oh, because it has to be over 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if I build a city, if I've got this combination already out here, and especially since Standard Technologies only cost me 6 money in the first place...
Sure.
The first time I'm building a city, I'm spending 25, I'm getting 7 money back.
Yeah. Yeah. So you might just end up going for a build across the map strategy at that point, and you're paying you're paying maybe 3/4 of the cost of everyone else at the table, which means your ability to engage and develop the map however you want is going to be maximized.
Exactly. And think about what we mentioned earlier as far as how many points you get from greeneries when we were talking about the Ecoline one. Greeneries costing 23. With this combination,
you're getting 16.
Drops it to 16 for those 2 points versus 14 for 1 point with the asteroid project.
That's great. Cool. Okay.
It's a fantastic combination.
It's a more complex one though. It's a little bit harder to. It's not as obvious as the other ones.
Yeah, but once I explained it to you,
yeah.
It was you immediately saw what the benefit of it was.
I don't standard pro. I've played full games of Terraforming Mars without putting a single thing on the map. I lost, but I played them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did try to warn you that you needed to have some board presence.
I was competitive.
You were competitive.
I was competitive.
You also finished in last, but you were competitive.
It was a high scoring game.
It was. We all got over 100 points. That was fun.
All right, what do we have?
Next one is Mining Guild and Advanced Alloys. Advanced Alloys in general is just one of my favorite cards because I love the idea of my resources are now worth more.
Mm-hmm.
Like both of them are worth more. The addition of having the Mining Guild for me is every single time with the Mining Guild that you build something on top of either a titanium production or on a titanium bonus or on top of a steel bonus, you're raising your steel production. That includes oceans, that includes special tiles, cities, greeneries, what have you. Doesn't matter. It always is increasing. And then if on top of that you have advanced alloys, which makes them even worth more, you are giving yourself so many more resources in the long run of this game. And again, and as always, not that much, not that costly.
No.
Only 9 money. And if you keep on putting on tiles, you're going to get a lot for those.
Yeah, the buff's going to be it's going to be significant because every time you bump it up, you're going to be getting, it's equivalent to bumping your gold production up by 4 every time.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of gold.
Yes.
Okay. This is the last one?
Second to last.
Second to last, all right.
Second to last is Physics Complex and Mass Converter here.
Okay.
Mass Converter, which does have the requirement here of having 5 science tags, but it boosts your energy up a ton by 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Physics Complex.
Spend 6 energy to go ahead and put a science token on this card.
And you get 2 points per.
2 points per science token. So these two combined, it's just a 2-point swing every round.
Exactly. Because otherwise, getting yourself, especially at the beginning of the game where you're at 0, trying to get that up to 6 to then get any kind of benefit
could take
for
a lot of the game to get there. But if you've got this in your hand, build straight to this card and you're ready to go.
Exactly.
That's cool. It's
a fun one.
This is one I would for sure go for.
Yep.
I like science tags.
I noticed.
I like tech tags, yeah.
Tech tags are fun.
Okay, what else? What's the last one we have?
So circling back to, number 1, getting back to Tharsis Republic. Tharsis is already buffed enough as far as getting a lot of money production in a hurry.
Okay. Spend 1 energy to gain 1 MC for each city you own on Mars.
Or
for city
each
tile on Mars.
Is Martian Rails, which is a little bit more costly, obviously, at 13. But if you're already getting money every time somebody is building a city, and then on top of that, I get money every round for all the cities that are there on the board.
Yeah.
It's almost unfair at that point playing Tharsis.
Yeah.
It's why Tharsis is one of my absolute favorite corporations.
It's a great corporation. Would you argue that it's probably the strong or the most obviously strong corporation on the table?
I can make the argument. I can certainly hear the argument for it. There's also, Ecoline, which we talked about earlier with the plants.
Yeah.
Can be huge. I've had a friend of mine argue about Vitor that gives you extra money for every time you play a card that has points on it.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, Tharsis is just
it's in the top swing.
It's definitely in the top.
If you've got it in your hand when you're drafting, you're considering taking it through the play.
Absolutely.
Although, do you debuff yourself? Do you play with corporations or prelude cards that you just have never won with before to see if you can?
I don't. I'm way too competitive to do that. I just want to win.
You just want to win, so you'll take whatever the strongest option is. I wish I'd pulled it out because and you might know the actual terms for this, and then we'll wrap up this video. Mm-hmm. When I played with Shira this last time, she chose a corporation card that let her use her heat as money.
Helion.
And then she immediately had 2 prelude cards that buffed her heat. And then the first few cards she built into was a heat system. And so she had almost no gold, but she slaughtered me because she could buy anything that came into her hand. Because heat is just an easier thing to cycle up than almost any of the other resources.
It is, especially then if you buff up the energy production as well.
It's all flowing into it.
All flowing into the heat.
And so that felt like that's where the first idea of what are the broken combinations and asking you that question, because that felt like one of those where it's just the perfect storm made it so I don't know that I could have been competitive.
Absolutely.
It was fun. I had a great time playing. I had a great time trying, but by the end scoring, she had just annihilated me.
She's really good at that.
She is very, very good. Yeah, I married well, is what I'm trying to say.
You did indeed.
Love you, babe. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Always acknowledge just how awesome your significant other is. I mean, they'd like to hear it. We'll see you next time. Bye.